Hey guys, it's Christian once again, and if you have been watching my videos, thank you very much. And yeah, I have one more video just because I've been seeing this around some of the sports headlines, and it's kind of also some the way I feel about this subject, so I decided to go ahead and talk about it. Um, this is going to be a soccer video, so if you're not into soccer or football and you don't want to watch this, I understand, no worries. So just give me the heads up there. Yeah, ahead of time to let you know right now. Yeah, I'm a Mexico fan when it comes to soccer. I support the Mexican team, and yeah, I mean uh, it's just the team that I follow when it comes to international football, soccer, whatever. Um, so the news has been going around that, maybe Juan Carlos Osorio is going to leave, that, they might get rid of him. And I mean, I have mixed feelings when it comes to this, but yeah, so for example, his record as far as just numbers is good. So let's see, it's he has 10 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss just out of the 13 games that he's been the coach for. And as far as World Cup qualifying and the group, he did manage to get 16 points out of a possible 18. So again, the numbers are good, but it's the style of play, I guess, and how his coaching style that really, that many fans don't like, including myself. Um, and just in general, once they got rid of Miguel Herrera, El Piojo, in case you guys, might not know who he is, he's, that one guy with the crazy celebrations from the World Cup. So once they got rid of him and, they brought in Ferretti just for a couple games, once they were looking for the new coach, there was pretty much down to 2 options that were being processed. One was, obviously the coach they have now, Osorio. The other one was Marcelo Bielsa. He was probably, I think he was might have been with Marseille at the time. Not sure if I remember right. But yeah, so I mean, I didn't like either one of them just because I don't like foreign managers, and the reason for that is because usually when they've brought in foreign managers, it's been when it's gone bad, it's been because they don't know Mexican soccer, they don't know the players, maybe just like a few of them, and they kind of try to use their style with a style that maybe is not used much in Mexico. So it kind of takes a lot of time, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. And yeah, so I prefer more you know coaches from Mexico like Miguel Herrera. Um, I also like Chepo before kind of things started going down with him and before he got like fired. But yeah, when I heard Osorio was going to be the coach, I was like, who is this guy? I have never heard of him. And yeah, I mean, it's his first international job. He's coached some clubs before, but not on an international scale. So already right there, I wasn't too sure of him. And of course, my biggest complaint, as well as like many other people's complaints, is his rotation system. And I understand if it's like, oh, this one player, had a bad game. I don't like how he played in the game, so I'm gonna leave him on the bench and try out this other player. And okay, that's fine. Or maybe injury, or maybe it's like a tactical thing. Maybe it's like you usually play, flat three in the middle, but this time you're like, oh, maybe I might need a defensive mid to help out the defense because of the how the other team is set up. So I understand those, but when you have to switch like 8, 9, 10 players every game, I don't like I don't like that. Again, I'm more traditional, like build your team, have your starters, and then you have that chemistry going on right there. Because if you're playing 4 different defenders and then 2 different forwards and just like a whole different set of players, it's like it just doesn't you don't give it time to actually like click, and it just goes by. Like for example, if in case you didn't watch the Copa America, Mexico obviously had 3. They took 3 goalies. One goalie took the first game, another goalie took the second game, and the third goalie took the third game. So pretty much every game there was one goalie. And I get it, surprise the opponent. That way they're not sure who's gonna play, who's not. But at the same time, it's like it doesn't work, and sometimes he's gotten it wrong. Where it's like, don't change players for the sake of changing players. Change players because you see something tactically, or because of an injury, or just something like that. Not because it's the way I do it. They don't know what to expect. Like, no. But yeah, and also another reason I started doing this video is because again there was I think it's some newspaper or something that reported that the federation is taking another look at Bielsa, maybe bringing him in, because of course he doesn't have a job right now. He was going to be the coach of Lazio, but if you guys remember, he pretty much left after 2 days of getting there because some demands weren't met. I think that he said they didn't bring him the players he wanted or something like that. And again, I'm not a fan of his just because of like how crazy is that? Like, you sign a contract, you like everyone's waiting for you, and the season's got to start like I don't know how soon, and then you just get there and it's like I'm out. Nah, you don't want to give me whatever, I'm out. And I think along with that I also read that you know obviously yeah, what I heard was that supposedly he also wanted if he does come to take this job, he also wants like his own press team. He wants to have his whole staff with him, including like doctors and physicians and all these people. So it's just like, imagine they try to give him all this and then he doesn't get like one little thing that he wants. Imagine he's like, oh well, no, I'm just gonna leave again. It's just like, I don't know. This guy's just, he just doesn't like commit to his actual contracts. And I like, even when I heard that he left Lazio like that, I was like, wow, that guy's really messed up. But yeah, the thing that this came up is because next month in October they're gonna have two friendly games, and then they have to play in November is back to qualifying. So they play against the U.S. in Columbus. So if you guys know anything about the U.S.-Mexico rivalry, you guys should know that Mexico playing in Columbus is really bad because Columbus is a hard place to play. U.S. really does do very well in Columbus, and just the atmosphere is really intense and really tough for the opposition team. So that's going to be a hard game for Mexico, and then just a few days later after that, they have to travel to Panama and play down there. So pretty much it's kind of like, do they get rid of him now and bring in a new coach? That way he has two friendly games to get his team in order and to get all his like style. Maybe try to get a bit of his style in there, and then play against the U.S. in November. Or do they leave him and say, okay, you know what, we are gonna put our faith in you, and then once the U.S. game comes around, if he loses this game, if Mexico loses against the U.S. and he's still the coach, that'll be his last game, like guaranteed. And I'm saying that just because of how much pressure and how much like outrage is going to be about that, because then people are going to be like, yeah, well, you had a chance to get rid of him back in September and blah blah blah. So it's kind of, they're in a tough position right now, but I wouldn't want either of these guys. I'm not a fan of either of these guys, because yeah, I mean, like I said, I prefer domestic coaches, but there are some coaches that are not from Mexico, but they know Mexican soccer because they've worked in it for a long time. Which a good case of that is La Volpe. He was a good coach for Mexico because he knew what players he wanted. He worked in like so many different Mexican teams, so he knew all these people and he knew the style, and it was like easy for him to settle in. But yeah, and then the other thing is that right now the way Mexico is playing these last few games, it's like they're dominating. They have possession of the ball. They have all these shots. Like, everything's going their way. They just don't score. Like, they just can't finish the play. And that the thing is that many people are starting to panic because it resembles a lot like how Mexico was a couple years ago when they almost missed the World Cup, because that's how it was dominating. Possession, shots, just couldn't get the result. So a lot of people are like, this is like starting bad. It's gonna go the same route. And yeah, I mean, ever since that 7-0 against Chile, it's just started going down, 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 down. So I don't know what they're gonna do. I wouldn't want either of these guys, but then again, it's a tough situation because you get rid of Osorio right now. It's not enough time for a new coach to come in. I mean, it's two friendly games, sure, but it's only 1 month of time to actually get your style in there, get some of your, tactics, get the team to play how you wanted to. It's just not enough time. If you would have said, "Oh, you don't play until December or January," I would have said, "Perfect, do it right now, get rid of him." But there's not enough time. So, just because there's not the length of time, I think they won't get rid of him. At the same time, that might come back against them, especially if like things don't turn around. My hope is that if they do leave him, which I'm pretty sure they will, if they do leave him, get these 2 games in October. Like I know they're friendlies and whatever, but still call up your team how you are planning to play against the U.S. Get your tactics in there right. Get the subs right. Get a good style of play going in there. I really wish he would stop the rotations because it just doesn't work at an international level. You don't have the players for that long. You might have them for a week, maybe 2 weeks, the max. That's it, unless you're playing the tournament. But yeah, but it just does his way of coaching doesn't really work out so well at an international level with the rotations and everything. Again, the results are good, but the play isn't good. It, it it's just, I mean, you're dominating, but you can't score. And the other thing was against Honduras, the defense was just horrible. Like Honduras was playing ultra defensive, only going for counterattacks, and they literally could have easily scored maybe 2, 3 goals against Mexico just because of those counterattacks. It was just horrible. Like the way he set up his defense, I think he had a defensive mid in there. It just didn't work out. He put players that should have been on the bench, and players that were on the bench didn't even get to play. Like the ones that should have been on there they didn't even come on the subs. Um, so it's just really bad. But I mean, what do you guys think? I know most of us are used to like starting 11, and you have some type of switch due to an injury, maybe a tactical type of a switch. But how would you feel about a coach like every game having a different goalie, every game having you know changing maybe 9, 10 of the players that are going to be out there? It's just like he just takes it to an extreme. Like maybe if you did change 1, 2, maybe 3 players, fine, I understand, especially tactics and injury, no problem. But when you just change it just because you want to, it doesn't make sense. I mean, I get the element of surprise and stuff like that, but even then the players don't even know who's gonna play. It's like, oh, I played one game, I had the best game in like the last couple weeks, and then it's just like, oh yeah, you're not gonna play next week because I'm gonna put this guy over here that hasn't scored in like last 5 games. But yeah, because they don't expect him to play and blah blah. It's like no, that just don't. But I don't know. I mean, I hope this turns out good. I hope in October they can turn things around. They are going to be able to call these players that play in Europe, so that's going to be good. But I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes. So I don't know. Just let me know what you guys think of this. Many of you might know how Bielsa is. He's kind of explosive. He's just kind of like you don't know what to expect of him. Just like he walked out of Lazio after like 2 days of getting there. So I don't like just because I don't think he's professional enough. I don't know because I mean, how do you walk out after 2 days? It's just crazy. But then this coach with all the switching around rotations doesn't make sense either. So kind of stuck in like it's either gonna be fire him, get a new coach. Maybe it works out, maybe not, because it could not work out as well. And it could be leave the coach and he just bombs it. It just like goes horribly wrong. We lose to US, we go to Panama, we get another loss there, and you're already like off so bad. So it's just really bad situation right now. It's kind of complicated. So, but yeah, I mean, this was pretty much more of a rant in a way, but I really do feel passionate about this subject just because ever since he came in, I really questioned his style of play, and I honestly kind of, in a way, saw this happening just because it doesn't make sense to change so many players every single game. But yeah, I mean, just let me know in the comments what you guys think of this. Maybe also would be interesting if you tell me, what nation you support when it comes to international. football, or pretty much where you guys are from, what country do you support, all that stuff. It's always interesting just to see who's viewing the videos, where you guys are from. It's just a cool thing, just see who watches them, and yeah. But yeah, if you made it all the way to this end of the video, and thanks a lot. It really means a lot, and I appreciate it. Um, but yeah, I'll follow up on this to see what they keep on saying. There's rumors that they are looking at Bielsa. There's rumors that no, his job is safe and all that. So right now it's kind of like not really for sure thing right now. I think he's gonna stay, but the rumors are still going around right now. So I'll update you on whatever happens out of this. I don't know. I don't know how I feel. Get rid of him, might not work out. Don't get rid of him, might go horribly wrong. So it could go bad either way. But yeah, anyway, thanks guys for watching this video. Like and subscribe for more of these types of videos on sports news, and all that stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.